Uptown girl, she's been living in her uptown world. I bet she never had a backstreet guy. Bet her mama never told her why. I'm gonna try for an uptown girl. She's been living in her white bread world as long as anyone with hot blood can. Now she's looking for a downtown man. That's what I am. And when she knows what she wants from her time, and when she wakes up and makes up her mind, she'll see I'm not so tough just because I'm in love with an uptown girl. You know, I've seen her in her uptown world. She's getting tired of her high-class toys and all the presents from her uptown boys. She's got a choice. Whoa, 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 uptown girl, you know I can't afford to buy her pearls, but maybe someday when my ship comes in, she'll understand what kind of guy I've been, and then I'll win. And when she's a walking, she's a looking so fine, and when she's a talking, she'll say that she's a mine. She'll say I'm not so tough just because I'm in love with an uptown girl. She's been living in her white bread world as long as anyone with hot blood can. And now she's looking for a downtown man. That's what I am. Uptown girl, she's my uptown girl. Uptown girl, in love with an uptown girl. Oh, uptown girl, she's my uptown girl. I'm in love with an uptown girl. She's my uptown girl. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we're checking out Uptown Girl by Billy Joel. Absolute cracker of a song. I only kind of rediscovered it because my daughter was learning it for theatre school, so I had to hear it over and over again in the car while she's learning it. But like, this is a cool tune. It's got some really interesting chords and interesting chord movements, things that are not super common to do on guitar, especially as a kind of a solo arrangement. So I'm arranging the song for kind of like campfire guitar, acoustic guitar, not trying to play exactly what's on the record. And it does lead us to some really interesting chords. It's kind of a mixture of open chords, got some bar chords, got some kind of interesting approaches to bar chords, which I think kind of make the song sound a little cooler. And yeah, I think it's just an interesting kind of tune to sink our teeth into. So let's get started. The chord progression for the intro and the verses is kind of this E. Then it's really going to an F sharp minor. It's going to an E with a G sharp bass, which is an approach to playing it, to A, to B. Right, that's the progression. So so that would be the kind of standard chords, but I think a really nice alternative to that is to play E. This is an F sharp minor 11, second finger, second fret, muting the fifth string, third and fourth fingers both in the second fret on the middle two strings, and leaving the thinnest two strings open. Okay, so E, F sharp minor 11. Now this is a E with a G sharp bass. guess really an E5 with the G sharp on the bass. Third finger's on the 4th fret of the thicker string, muting the 5th string. First finger, 2nd fret on the 4th string, little finger, 4th fret on the 3rd string, thinnest 2 strings open. Again, you could choose to use this C-shaped one, but it's a bit busy there for me. I like the sound of this better. And then leaving those open strings ringing out. Now, it's possible to play a kind of an A like this as well, if you wanted to. Open 5th string, 7th fret, 6th fret, open, open. But I think I prefer the sound of just like a regular A to a regular B, kind of a bar chord. I use my little finger there with my 3rd finger over the top. I think most people play it there with the 3rd finger. It doesn't really matter which one fits most comfortably under your fingers is the one that you should use. So that progression again. So E, F sharp minor 11, E with the G sharp bass to A to B chord, E, town girl, F sharp. She's been living in a E with the G sharp world. A, she's never beat with a E chord guy. F sharp minor to the mama, never E with a G sharp bass. A, I'm gonna B for a E. And it's that progression that's used for the very intro and all of the verses, the same progression. Now, I do think, again, thinking on acoustic guitar as opposed to a whole band arrangement, you probably want to keep that fairly simple. So I like just literally going, uptown girl, she's been living in her uptown world. She's never ever had a backstreet guy. You keep it simple and it gives the song somewhere to go. I'm gonna try for an uptown girl, but you could totally strum it if you choose. There's lots of options here because we're not playing what the record does. You can make it up however you like it to. You could even do this continuous strumming with a heavy backbeat. Doesn't matter, you could build it up. If you start simple, you got somewhere to go. Later in the song you might like to build it up. That's what I recommend. So you can see there straight away, so long as you're keeping this hand moving and you're feeling that rhythm, there are a lot of different choices as to what rhythm pattern you're going to choose. And I really feel like it's important to kind of have some differentiation between the different parts. If you do the same rhythm all the way through, it's going to get boring for the listener. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're practicing it. I would recommend starting real simple, just with the strums on the chord changes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. It's a nice approach as we're actually playing the band. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bass chord, 3, 4, bass chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, lots of different options there. Explore it as you go along. Most important thing is getting the chords. But again, you could choose to use like the full bar chords. Down girl, as you're living in an uptown world that you never had an uptown. You could pick it like that if you want, right? The next section, I'm kind of lumping the two bits there into the pre-chorus. Depending on where you look, you'll find different interpretations of what's considered a verse and a pre-chorus. But anyway, the pre-chorus for me is the and when she knows what she wants from her time, and when she wakes up and makes up her mind, she'll see I'm not so tough just because I'm in love with an uptown. So I'm calling all of that the pre-chorus. Okay, it's there are two sections there. The first one starts with a C, and when she A minors what she D minors from her G, D, C. And when she A minors and B half diminished to E. Let's go through that section first of all. So relatively simple chords. C to A minor to D minor. A lot of people play it there with the third finger, it doesn't make any difference. And then to the G, you can use third and fourth fingers, second, third fingers, first, second, third, whatever G makes you happy is the one you should use. Then it's C, and when she A minors up and makes up. Very rare chord in a pop song. I love the fact that it's in there. This is a B minor 7 flat 5 chord, also called a B half diminished chord. So nothing on the thicker string, mute it with the tip of your first finger. Then it's first finger, second fret, fifth string, third finger, third fret on the fourth string, second finger, second fret on the third string, and little finger on the third fret of the second string. Mute the thinner string, the underneath of your first finger or the underneath of your fourth finger, it doesn't matter. Mute, 2, 3, 2, 3. And it goes to an E. One more time through that. So, C when she A minus what she D minus from her G. C and when she A minus she B half diminished her E. Then it goes back to a little bar chord section. A major, she'll see I'm F sharp minor. You could use that F sharp minor 11, but it doesn't sound as good there. It sounds better to play a regular F sharp minor bar chord. A, she'll see I'm F sharp minor, B minor to B7. Love that chord movement. Going B7 really goes to E. You can hear it going like perfect cadence, it's called, that dominant seventh chord going to the 1, and the preparation going from the A, where it feels like we're in the key of A, that feels like 1, then the F sharp minor, then the B minor, and then lifting it up. You'll hear the harmonies too, really nailing that D to the D sharp to the E. It's a beautiful piece of songwriting, that. So A, she'll see I'm F sharp minor, B minor to B7 to another verse. You'll probably strum it just a little bit more, 'cause you are building up the song like that. This key is really hard for me to sing up there. A to the B. Okay, so after that pre-chorus, we go back into another verse. But at the end of this verse, we've got a really nice with a completely different chord progression. Yet another chord progression with also a very interesting chord and interesting harmonies going on. So this one, the chord progression, we've got G. And for some reason, I want to play this G now with fingers 3 and 4. You could choose to use a different G. Doesn't matter, but that's one that feels good under my fingers or sounds good. My instinct leads me to that G. And then it goes to an A. Regular A, if you're using the first finger bar version, make sure you're muting the thinner string, but you could definitely use one of the other fingerings for an A chord if you choose. So G to A. Then we've got an F sharp over A sharp. A lot of you won't have played this chord before. Muting the thicker string. It's basically an F sharp bar chord. You could play regular F sharp major if you want, but I really like that bass movement there, going up to the A sharp. So it's first finger in the first fret of the fifth string, little finger, fourth fret of the fourth string, third finger, third string, third fret, and second finger, second fret on string 2. And I'm muting the thinner string. Okay, so nothing, first fret, fourth fret, third fret, second fret, mute. And then it goes B minor, A, G, A to, then to F sharp over A sharp to B minor, A, then G, A, second time F sharp to F sharp over A sharp, then it goes to B7, back to Uptown Girl. Again, we've got that B7 leading us back to the E, so nice. But that bridge, let me play the bridge through. It's just those two sequences, the 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, A, then to F sharp over A sharp, then to B minor, A to G, A do do do, F sharp over A sharp, do do B7, and then we're in verse 4. Of course you know that you're gonna give it more. Oh, I'm so happy that that rhymes so well. I just wish I could sing it right up there. It's kinda hard. Then it's back to the pre-chorus when she's D minoring and it's G, C, and when she's A minoring, then she'll be half diminished to E. Back to the second half of that pre-chorus. A, F sharp minor, B minor, B7, and then it's in verse 5. I'm not sure I've got a rhyme that'll keep me alive. And then it keeps on going up like that. There's just another verse and then we're back. We're back to the bridge. G, O, A, F sharp with an A sharp, then to B minor, A to G, A, and then to F sharp over A to B7. Then we're back to the outro. It's just the same as a verse. You know I'm in love with an uptown girl. It's the same progression. At that point, there's loads of different vocal parts kind of weaving in amongst each other, and yeah, you get to make up what vocal line you're going to do. I did something completely different for the cover because, well, I didn't seem to manage to fit in the way that it sounds on the record, and it doesn't matter because it's my version. This is my version of the song, my arrangement. I can do what I like. You can do what you like on your arrangement, particularly with the rhythm. You do want to think a little bit about doing maybe something different between the verses and the choruses. There are loads of different approaches. You should definitely stay aware of dynamics. So some sections are a little bit louder than others. Some have got more strumming. Some sections have got less strumming. Got a big fly flying around my head today. Amazing. Love the heat. But it's such a great song. Such a really, really lovely, interesting song to play on guitar with some interesting chords. It's definitely not a beginner tune, but a great one for intermediates that were looking for doing something that's a little bit different, a little bit more exciting. A few chords that need a little bit of attention, might need a little bit of practice. It's a good way of expanding your chord vocabulary looking at songs like this. And, you know, if you're into songwriting as well, it's just such a beautiful example of an odd arrangement, like having different parts in different places and the double bridge and the key changes and stuff. It really is a beautifully crafted song, this. And I'm sure you're going to love playing it. Hope you enjoy it. If you're a beginner guitar player, you might want to go and check out the Justin Guitar app, which got loads and loads of backing tracks, really help you sort out your rhythm and help you keep your rhythm consistent because the backing tracks don't stop. And of course, it's got all my beginner lessons, but good for intermediate guitar players as well, because sometimes it's a good idea to try harder songs over easy, try harder techniques over easy songs. If you're learning triads or you're learning to use inversions or you're learning to pick out a second guitar part, that kind of thing, using those backing tracks, the beginner easy backing tracks, is a great starting point for that. So if you're an intermediate guitar player, you might find that helpful as well. Even if the lessons are like, yeah, I know all of that strumming and those easy open chord stuff. I'm a bar chord guy and inversions and all that sort of stuff. But you still got to put them into practice. Using backing tracks, real songs, is a great way of doing that. Hope you enjoyed this lesson and have yourself an absolutely fantastic day. I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.